And it's good to have you on the flip side of the radio. It's Friday the 11th day in the month of August 2023. And of course, it's a good day, it's a bright day, it's a beautiful day and a cool day in the nation's capital. Welcome on board to the program. CASIS, the campaign against suffering in silence from the General Ibrahim Tahiru Foundation that deals with psychosocial support and mental health, talking about the military, paramilitary, their dependents, veterans, and, every other person who is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So where would you rather be? This is the place to be every 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Friday to get the information at your fingertips. All right, like I said, we are live on Facebook right now at ArmedForces Radio 107.7 FM on Facebook. You can drop your comments, you can ask your questions, because we have our guest, our regular guest in the studio, Mr. Issa Hamza. Issa, yes, who is, he's always here to give you that information that's going to, put you in the right spot, put you in the right corner. Doctor, it's good to have you once again on the show.
It's good to be here. Good morning.
Absolutely. So on today's topic, it will be importance of communication between the civilians and security personnel for more secured community, for a more secured community. Around the globe, we are looking for peace. We are, churning, or we are actually working towards, achieving that peace. And of course, this is a military establishment, and we've always, had this issue where we have civilians, and our security personnel always having this, brouhaha. So here is the time for you to know that it is important and you can actually achieve it. You don't have to see the military personnel, see your military or paramilitary as if they are zombies. They're not. They're actually humans, just like you and I. And of course, Mr. Issa Hamza is here to clarify us on one or two. But before then, for someone who is just tuning in right now on the program CASIS, to understand what we're talking about, what is post-traumatic stress disorder?
Good morning once again. Post-traumatic stress disorder, in a layman's term, is the concurrent feeling or episodes one tends to have when he has been exposed to some stressful activities or events, like the issue of robbery, the issue of maybe kidnapping, or maybe stressed from the work as well, that leaves the person to become agitated and to feel so insecure. Now, the concept of PTSD, usually people sometimes mistake it for, let's say, maybe someone is going through a mild challenge. PTSD has the ability to make someone feel so insignificant in the community, that is without help. And it has also the ability to make someone have some suicidal ideation, that is trying to commit suicide, isolation, and a person's personality, attitude, behavior, everything turns upside down all of a sudden as a result of that particular traumatic event. So the good thing here is that it can be cured and also managed, depending on the level of the onset, and using psychotherapy and drug therapy with good professionals, and the person is going to get the treatment he needs.
Absolutely. Okay, so if you just tuned in once again, like I said, it is 107.7 ArmedForces Radio. And yes, we have Mr. Issa Hamza, who is here to do justice to the topic. And we are talking about the importance of communication between the civilians and security personnel for a more secured community. And he just established what PTSD is. So if you just tune in, absolutely, you made the right choice. And going on now, just like I said, we are talking about the importance of communication between civilians and, military security personnel. So what is communication?
Communication can be said to be a means of interaction between two or more people, and communication comes in two ways, ideally. That is the verbal communication and the non-verbal communication.
Okay.
But predominantly we engage in verbal communication, that is for us to be able to understand each other. These are sounds that we make through our voices, to air out what we feel, how we feel, and our perception towards the subject matter, so to speak. So, and the nonverbal communication, just like you see, I've been moving my hands around,
Yes.
The nonverbal communication has to do with gestures, and it also has to do with some also believe that the social media as well, that is text messages, and things like that, and email, that
Yes.
will also convey the message. But the concept of communication is for people to understand what is in your mind, and to get the job done, so to speak.
Okay.
And for you to live harmoniously with the people around your own community.
Okay. All right. So now you mentioned non-verbal and verbal communication. So in this context, talking about the relationship between the military and the civilians, which do you think is, should be applied more?
I think the verbal communication should be applied more.
Okay, why?
Because, people don't actually pay attention to non-verbal gesture, so to speak.
Okay.
That is why they say be careful with what you say, and once it's been said, you can't take it back. You understand? Because the brain has the ability to absorb sounds like that, because the area of concentration, the society and the way we are being groomed in the society, in our own nature, so to speak, is that once the sound comes, it makes sense, and the brain interprets it. So predominantly the area of the brain that is responsible for communication pays more attention to verbal communication.
Okay.
That is why one has to be trained at times to understand non-verbal gestures or non-verbal communication. You understand? But it is very important for us to try as much as we can to be able to reach out and verbally and make a point for someone to be able to understand. Now, what the problem sometimes people tend to face in verbal communication is when someone is talking, ideally there is a level of intellect. Maybe you are expecting someone who has a PhD in law or physics or something, and he starts speaking big grammars for you.
Okay,
Meanwhile, exactly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other person, the person at the receiving end, that's the listener, is just a graduate. You understand?
Yeah.
And you are speaking a lot of grammars that you will have to go through dictionary.
Just to understand.
Just to understand what you are saying. And you need a response there and then.
Absolutely.
So you see, you've already lost the listener from the word go.
You've actually lost that communication,
exactly.
level.
Yes, because he can't understand. He only hears what you're saying as the sounds. You understand?
Okay.
These are sounds, but they don't actually make sense
Absolutely,
to him.
yes.
So in communication, in verbal communication, the sounds will have to make sense for it to be meaningful.
Absolutely.
And be appreciated.
All right, now let's talk about, in the military.
Yes.
Do you think, would you advise that they actually go through the training of this non-verbal communication skill to be able to communicate with the populace, especially when they're carrying out their activities, especially their trainings, because sometimes, they say action speaks louder than words. Sometimes when the military says something, you could mistake it for aggression, you could mistake it for assault, but when you understand, when they are able to give this non-verbal communication, when they have this skill, at their fingertips, they can actually churn it out, and the populace understands, okay, this is what they're doing. Because sometimes, you actually see them trying to do this, their exercise, perform this, their, when they're going, as if they're going in a war zone. And the populace could be scared, people who don't understand what's going on. They think, oh, right, what's actually happening. So would you advise that?
Yes, I will definitely advise that. And I will also encourage the security organizations, like predominantly the military, to one of the area of deficiency that we actually notice is that the junior officers, they don't actually have much of the diplomatic approach, verbal approach, so to speak, because there's this adage they usually say, soldier go, soldier come. You understand?
Remain, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, sir. No, sir. That's just the language they understand. But the point, if you look at the superior officers, like the senior officers,
yes.
They go through series of training courses. Like political science and diplomatic studies, things like that, and it tends to give them a versatile knowledge about means of communication. That is, it's just like when a general is working,
yes.
And you see the orderlies or his security personnel, and you see how aggressive they are. But once you see him, he will be smiling at you, you understand, and he even want to shake you so that he'll give you that warm welcoming, and for you to be able to for you to feel safe and be able to communicate efficiently. So I feel and I believe that maybe more training in the junior cadre should be conducted in terms of diplomacy and communication skills, because they are the ones that actually are closer to the masses. If you see the checkpoints, usually
they are the ones.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
And the resistance we notice at times that is, if a checkpoint is being mounted from afar, you tend to see some things, some rules. No giving of bribery, no gratification. Yeah. You submit yourself, but sometimes some people don't really understand English. You understand?
Yes.
So and we live in a circular society, community. But due to the fact that some are not actually privileged to meet up to that expectation or criteria, then I believe that to some extent, the another means of communication or relaying that message to them should also be devised.
Absolutely, yes.
Using their own community. Okay, in this community, predominantly they speak Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa, then it should be translated into the three major languages, so that when the person comes, he won't fall as an offender, and he won't be an adult, will not be forced or coerced to do or to be punished, so to speak.
Absolutely, yes. All right, so if you just tuned in once again, it's 107.7 Armed Forces Radio, the authentic dial on the program CASIS, the campaign against suffering and silence from the General Ibrahim Tahiru Foundation. We are always here every Friday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And, we are super happy to always churn out this useful information for you, because who knows what you might be going through or someone around you. And this is the right place to be when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder, when it comes to communication skills between the military and the civilians. This is the right place to be. So you can actually ask your questions right now, drop your comments. You want to know or how best the military and civilians can actually go about their duties, in a very conducive environment, correlate peacefully. You want to know how? You can actually ask the question right now, or you have something, a comment to drop. You can actually ask that right now on 090-9752-9699. 090-9752-9699. Or we are live on Facebook at Armed Forces Radio 107.7 FM. Once again, the number is 090-9752-9699. We have a call here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Jamil from Guagualada.
All right, Jamil, all the way from Gwags. It's good to have you on the show. Go ahead. Hello, Jamil. We can hear you. Okay. Jamil, you can call back and let's have that information you have to drop. The number still remains 090-9752-9699. 090-9752-9699. Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost that one also. You can keep trying or you can send in a text message. All right, back to you, Doctor. So now, what is the effective method of communication with security personnel? What's that,
Yes. Well, it's...
All right, let's quickly take this one before we lose it. Hello? Oh, no, what's happening? I can see full service here. Hopefully, we have one that's going to go through. 090-9752-9699. Keep the calls coming in. I know you have that question to ask. Civil-military relationship, that's effective communication. How well can I have this? You're always meeting them at the checkpoint. You meet them on a daily basis, and you're always having issues, on how best to communicate with them. This is the right place to be. Okay, tune down the volume of your radio. Please tune down. Thank you very much. What's your name? Oh, no, what's happening? I don't understand. Okay, yeah, back to you, Doctor.
Well, there are methods or strategies that can be used in communicating, but the first thing here is to sensitize the people, in the community, to understand that the security operatives, we are here to protect your lives and properties.
All right.
You understand? And if at all we can actually reach out to you, there is no how we'll be able to protect you.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you might even say, no, don't go to area A, or don't go to area B.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you just feel, this is they're just seeing it. And at the end of the day, it is possible we're going to conduct an operation. Maybe they might have noticed that there are some people that are there that are going to be apprehended.
Yes.
So, and they are being warned or not to go, and you're going to fall a victim.
Absolutely. Yes.
At the end of the day, there is nothing you will say that people will not, or they won't actually believe that
you're a culprit.
Exactly, you understand.
Yeah.
So communication is very important when it comes to the relationship between the civilians. And now the question is, how do the military communicate?
Yes,
that is very important. Like the office of the PRO, most of times you see when there are top of operations, they come and they actually talk or try to explain one or two things too. But there are other barracks in the community. I can say almost every community here in Nigeria.
All right, Doc. Just sorry, before you go, I think we have a text message. It says, good morning, Thelma, and thanks to the guest in the studio. I am actually learning a whole lot from the topic today. For me, the communication skill between the military should be improved so the populace can understand them at every point in time. All right, just like we said. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, because if you look at almost every, like the caller from Gwagwalada, they also have a barrack there in Gwagwalada.
Okay.
But it mustn't actually be that the PRO will have to come, the superior will have to come and talk first, or explain something before they understand.
Yes.
But let it be such that the barracks that are there should be able to reach out to the community leaders, and try to have, even if it is a town hall meeting with the community youths, try to understand them, try to explain. Sometimes we might just say we are going to conduct a road march, or a special training. Once there is that synergy, once there is that communication, whenever there is something, in fact, the community will, even if they see something strange, they will be the ones to first come and approach the security
and relay.
Exactly,
Okay,
But there is this barrier between the security operatives. Simply, most of the people I ask, they feel if you go closer to them, like the civilians, they tend to look down on you. But it is out of their own tax that you are being paid. So you are working for them. Okay. You understand?
Yes,
so it is very important for you to explain things vividly. Now, in different communication, in different communities, they have their own ways of communication.
Okay.
There are some that up to date in some communities, they still have this area council meeting or tribal meeting every Sundays. You know, so what role are the security operatives playing in that meeting? Because you tend to hear, you discover that there are a lot of issues going on in that particular meeting, you know, that might also pose a security threat to that community. But simply because they don't have a representative within that community, so the security operatives will not actually know what is going on.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yes,
like of recent, I mean, there is this research that showed that the increase in criminal activities between Kaduna and Abuja, you know, is as a result of the related it with substance abuse. You understand?
Yes.
But substance abuse is being conducted in the community. And even within the community, there are one or two leaders or one or two people who knows the abusers or the dealers.
Absolutely, yes.
But
that's
due
correct.
to the fact that there is that community barrier between the security operatives and the civilians
there,
they wouldn't be able to reach out to them. You know, but if they have, like, let's say, even if it is a week or once in a month that they sit down and like community outreach, they try to explain some of their mode of operations. You know, no, we don't want to. Sometimes if you're coming out, we do this, we're doing that. So please, we are human beings like you. So
always feel free. When you have an information.
Exactly.
Yes.
And another thing here is that even at the gate, you can drop a suggestion box. At the gate of the barracks, you can just anonymously write a letter and just drop it there. You understand?
That will go a long way.
That will go a long way. And maybe the provost will read them. The ones that require an immediate intervention, they are being taken to the commandant for further verification and investigation. You see, that will close the security breach. That gap between the civilians. Because once the civilians, they feel they are a lot more secured in terms of communication with the security operatives, then information will start flowing.
The way it should.
Exactly. It will start flowing. Intelligence will start coming in.
Absolutely.
You understand? So that's...
All right, the lines are still open and we have very little time. 090-9752-9699. I don't know what happened, you know. We're having calls and losing all of them. But keep trying. Let's see if we can have it at one or two calls before we wrap up the program. 090-9752-9699 or 080-6396-3643. 080-6396-3643. Don't forget the topic is still importance of communication between the civilians and security personnel for more secured community. Hello? Oh, please tune down the volume of your radio. Please tune it down. Please tune it down.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Hello, I can hear you.
Hello?
Good morning, I can hear you.
Good morning.
All right, so let's see this other one. Tune down the volume of your radio. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Prince Omo.
All right, Prince Omo, go ahead. We don't have much time.
Yes, I really enjoy the program very well.
Thank you so much.
And then they see a light in a lot of people, and this is the kind of thing we need in this country.
Absolutely.
Who can learn? You know, in terms of any challenge, maybe the way you address people and then the way to address people.
All right.
Thank you very much. I enjoy you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you also. All right, keep the calls coming in. Let's see if we can take one more or two more calls. If you can't get through calls, just send in a text message. Don't forget, the numbers are still 080-6396-3643 and 090-9752-9699. And we're still live on Facebook. Ask a question, drop your comment. So, Dr. Mr. Hamza, yes, who has been giving us all the information. How important is it, to the protection? How important is all this communication we've been talking about? So let's take this last call before we wrap up. Hello? Hello? Oh, no, what's happening? Oh, no. A lot of people, trying to call in. Okay, let's see this one. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where you calling us from?
This is Francis from Massacre.
All right, Francis, it's good to have you all the way from Massacre. Go ahead.
You are getting speaks well because sometimes a pregnant woman can have a miscarriage once you see army officer. So they should bring down their heat whenever they want to communicate with the civilians, so that they will
communicate well,
and the civilians will let them know what is going on.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the heat in them makes things difficult for somebody to communicate with them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Francis. Okay, and our final, question. I said, how important, we've been talking about communication. This man just said a pregnant woman could even, have a miscarriage and all of that. So how important is it to the protection of our lives and properties as Nigerians?
It is very important because we are looking at working towards a more secured and having the sanity of people being online, people calling themselves to order, you understand,
yes.
Which is very important. So there is no how I can protect you when I can't talk to you. There is no how you will be able to protect me when I can't understand you.
Absolutely. Yes.
So when
I might even be seeing you as an antagonist.
Exactly. So once that hostility or once that barrier has been broken, then the community will community itself will help.
Let's have this last caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where you calling us from?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. What's your name?
Okay. So I'm calling from Mariki level.
All right. It's good to have you, Mr. Nonso. Go ahead. We don't have much time. Go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, I love the program that you people are doing. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
It's very educating, and I think Bible says people lack knowledge. People lack understanding because of lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
So, me as a person, sometimes I'm scared of coming close to military people or all these our armed forces men, because most of them they are giving people a kind of impression that they are not approachable. You cannot solve where they are. Maybe you cannot approach them. So the way you people the way he has analyzed everything, I think is very understanding.
Absolutely.
So if the or the armed forces men, if they can have this kind of education on how civilians can approach them or how they can relate to civilians, all these security duties and all that, there will be a kind of limit. It will reduce drastically.
Absolutely.
They can communicate with people, with civilians, and the civilians can have access to them to give them information, necessary information that they need from civilians.
All right. Thank you so much.
I really love what you people are doing.
Thank you so much. We also appreciate you. All right, that's our final call on the show today. Okay, just
yes. So you see, it once I know that I am safe with you, my mind will be at ease. Psychologically, I will have this comfort and this my level of courage, will increase, and I will be able to become a lot more.
In fact, I could even say that 40% of our security, issues could be solved because of that.
Exactly.
Because
certainly.
when it's so easy, for me to walk up to you and tell you, I am suspecting that, something might go wrong in this particular area, it actually gives you, because they say getting information out your fingertips, is already solving the problem, even by 50%.
Exactly. Certainly.
So, yeah.
So I believe that if the security operatives, even the police force, if they can actually try as much as they can to reach out to try and reach out to the communities, engage the communities, also engage the community youths. They will. It will solve a lot of security issues in the community.
All right, thank you so much, and Nigeria at large. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Hamza Isa, for coming once again on the program to give that information. we have always needed, to have a peaceful coexistence. And of course, help yourself out even if you're going through stress, anxiety, or post-traumatic stress disorder. You can get help. And this is the right place to always be, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. every Friday on Armed Forces Radio 107.7 FM. And don't forget, that was the program, CASIS, the Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, from the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation. And don't forget, you can visit us on our website at atahirufoundation.org. Send an email to inquiries@atahirufoundation.org. I remain your host, Thelma Okokun. Good morning, Abuja, Nigeria.